Welcome back. We in the series of recognizing the shape of the hand. Um, Previously, we had discussed so many different hands of different people, trying to relate them to the personality. Then we divided the hand into three categories, and one hand was the pointed hand, the square hand, and the third was the flat hand. Last In last video we covered the pointed hands. Today I'm going to cover the square hands, how they look like and what they actually mean. Square hand is usually the first impression you get from the hand as square, just like the pointed one. Pointed was the whole shape was pointed, very thin at the time at the top, and starting thin, getting bigger, and then pointing at the top. And so were the fingers. Fingers will also have the same shape. These are pure pointed fingers. But at the same time, if hand starts a little wider, stays wider, straight goes up, and fingers look square. Square means they go straight up, make a little rectangle type of thing, and come back. The fingers are more in a rectangular shape, square in the corners. They appear to be more square than pointed, or even like being very wide or being pointed. They usually look straight up and flat on the top. They may have a little slight curve. Don't be confused with that. Of course, fingers get their shape as they go, as they proceed. So it's the overall full impression. Like if you look at my hand, you will mostly see a more square hand. Things are looking more square. So this is a square hand. So you can, by looking at it, most of the fingers are square. They start, let's say, if they are 1 centimeter wide, they stay 1 centimeter wide, 1 centimeter wide on the top in all three parts, in all the fingers, all of them. Mixed hand may be the other way. It may have different, point, if some fingers pointed and square and flat. But in a square hand, you will notice that predominantly the fingers will be more square, going up on top with the same width. So this is how you recognize a hand. Even in the palm itself will be square. You will see them almost nearly the same width. They will appear as square. The finger, if you take the whole thing as one portion, just like a palm here, and then you study, you'll see that these are more square. They're not like squeezed like this. They're not pointed, or they're not like, giving an impression of going out over here on the base of the fingers itself. So the base of the finger will also give an impression if they're going inward, outward, or straight up. So the straight up is the one which we are looking at today, which is the square fingers. So let's get into the definition, what they mean, and how do you interpret a person with a square hand. The square hand is considered as a practical hand. The person who has the square hand is a very practical person, more realistic. His approach towards life is more reality. He uses both imagination as well as the realities of the world, and put them together and try to be within the society, live within the society, among people, work hard, be punctual, be neat, work around with people, with their problems, and actually is called a practical hand. Okay, I was saying that people who have such hands are very practical, hardworking, they're disciplined, they're punctual, and they are known for observation of rules and regulations. They are like opposite of the pointed hands. Pointed hands are usually casual people. They're tidy. They are very concerned about their um, surroundings, but they are like more sophisticated people. They, if they want, they are more like into their soul and brain. Here we are looking at a more practical in between the pointed and the flat hand. So these are more everyday person who's gets up 8 o'clock in the morning, takes half an hour to get ready, have breakfast on the table, and be at work on time, drive in your own lane with speed. They are much more disciplined people. So this is how they continue working. So they are not shy of working hard. They are very practical and hardworking, obviously. So they like to build up and to keep things in order. Uh, they construct things, they make things, they let things happen. And then they keep the order of the things. So they are the key point between the more abnormality in the both ends, where you have uh, extremes of a particular hand. So they don't like to waste time, so they keep on working. So they are so much into something, and they want to do it. They're very practical people, so they don't want to waste time, because they know that they have to finish something within certain time and to a certain quality. So they are always ready to accept responsibility and prove equal to the task. So you mention something, they are always there to take it. They show some kind of leadership. They accept all what is given to them. They hardly complain about it. Say, okay, you know what? If you expect this thing from me, I am going to do it for you. So they are always there, and they're always working very hard. So this makes them very important for the society. They are like gear of the society. Upon which the speed and the uh, mechanism of the whole body, so the society itself runs. So they are very responsible organ of the society, and and they are the one who keep the balance on both sides. In fact, on all sides. So the balance is very important. They themselves are like a fulcrum. They keep everything in the balance, and they provide the main mechanism for that. So they respect the norms of the society. They accept whatever comes to them, what is happening, because they are the one who are mostly defining it. They are most of the they are the one who is setting most of the rules and of the game, uh, and regulations. And so they accept, they understand, they have a deep understanding of what is going on, because they are part and parcel of the society. So they become very important. So the square hands don't like innovations, thus tend to like things as those are, because they are the one who say, okay, do this way or do that way. They send up all the rules and regulations. They are the creator, they are the doers, and they put things in motion. They create the balance. So they are involved in almost all walks of life. So they don't want to change anything, because they are more into a routine thing. Say 8 o'clock, don't want to change it to 8:30 or 9 o'clock. They get up in the morning. They get up in the morning, so they hardly will change it. So the life, revolves around them. They keep the fun going. They keep the life going around them, and they are the most, as like I said, they are the fulcrum. So so they play a central role in everybody's life. So you see them around you all the time. They are the center of the gravity. And they are all jack of all the trades. They actually can do anything that is possible for them to do. They are never shy of work. So hard work, especially, we discussed. So they actually they will pick up on anything that you hand over to them, and they accept the challenge for that. So they are, because they are very hardworking. They are very practical. They get up in the morning, spend all day long, burn their all their energies and calories they had in the day. So they are very particular about their food as well. So they sleep well, they eat well, they are very particular about it. They are very choosy about how what they eat, because their body requires that kind of nourishment, their energy levels, because they are into everything. So they burn a lot of energy. So they require a lot of energy. So they're very, very, very concerned about what they eat, and not in a sticky way, but in a good way, because they want to be healthy. So it also tells about their well built, why they are so strong and square. So they are, because they care about their health. They are very practical. They work very hard. So their health is usually good, and they are concerned about their health. If something goes wrong with them, they want to deal with it. They don't sit on any issues that they have with their physique and their health. So their sleep and eating and doing things are pretty routine. So anything that changes that, they get concerned about it, and they want to do and fix it. Um, so they are very people who are on schedule. They like to have schedule, and things happen in very orderly fashion. So they're very practical, like we said, and they're wise people too, because they see things the way they should be in their life, and they understand that this has to happen this way. They know that health is important, so they are always worried about health. They know how sleep is important, so they are always worried about their sleep. So they are wise in that sense. They apply wisdom to being a vital part of the society, and the family itself. So they're therefore, because they are wise and practical, they tend to be professionally, and to the best of their ability. They are very professional people. You put them, you'll find them as an engineers, or doctors, and any other professional. You will see plumbers, electricians, mason. All those, they are very, very practical, and they put things together. So they are kind of a stable people, because they are balanced, they're wise. So the stability is part of their life. You don't see them wandering around. You don't see them, lost, and losing things. They have a very established family, whether they are single or they're married, they have children. You will see a kind of a stability within their lives. They are always stable, and you don't see them doing things that uh, are like shakes their life, and they don't like to be imbalanced, and swing in their life. So because they take activity and part in all kind of activities, they usually are very productive and useful. Like in the very beginning, I said, they are very productive. They are actually part and parcel of the society, the real organ, the gear of the machinery, society, the machinery itself. And they don't overdo anything, and they don't leave out anything. It's like more like a perfection. So it's more like a balance. So they tend to, sometime within their square hand, you will see the tendency of being perfectionist. They want to see everything happening the way they should be happening. So you will see them as perfection. Oh, you know what? You want to do things your way. Well, maybe it's their way, but maybe it's a perfect way. So always look into the such people with a square hand, that if they are professionally right, they are wise. You consider them as wise people. You consider them as stable and practical people. then try to even look into if they are very productive and they are giving you an impression that, my way is the right way. Maybe it is the right way. So, you can try to work with them. If there's a logic that you present to them, if they are wrong, they will accept it and they will work with you because that's the way they are. So you can always communicate with them on a very logic way. You tell them, try to make them understand this is something is wrong about this plan or whatever their thinking is, and this is how they can fix, and they will fix it. And that's square hand. So next hand is the flat hand. We'll cover that. I'll put up a couple of pictures at the end of this video to look at a couple of square hands. I'll see you in the next video then. Take care. Bye.